morning, students. Today I am going to give a lecture on basic textile chemical processing. In this regard, whenever you're going to dye a cloth or fabric, the water plays a vital role. Water is very essential for dyeing of any cloth or fabric or hand or anything. So, in this regard, requirement of water for chemical processing. Water is used extensively throughout textile processing operations. Almost all dyes, specialty chemicals, and finishing chemicals are applied to textile substrates from water baths. In addition, most fabric preparation steps, including desizing, scouring, bleaching, and mercerizing, and use aqueous systems. Second one, the amount of water used varies widely in the industry depending on specific process operated at the mill, equipment used, and prevailing management philosophy concerning water use. Textile operations vary greatly in water consumption. The water consumption of various types of operations, wool and felted fabrics, process are more water intensive than other processing subcategories such as wovens, knits, stuffs, and carpets. Water use can vary widely between similar operations as well. For example, knit mills average 10 gallons of water per pound of production. Yet water use ranges from yet water use ranges from a low of 2.5 gallons to a high of 45.2 gallons. Textile industry is a leading consumer of water and it ranks among 10 top water consuming industries. The consumption of water for the processing of various textile fibers is like this. Cotton 250 to 350 water consumption kg of fabric. For wool 200 to 300 water consumption a kg of fabric. Nylon 125 to 150, rayon 125 to 150, polyester 100 to 200, acrylic 100 to 200. You take cotton fibers, it requires the largest amount of water for its preparation. In general, the water consumption in a process house is about 3 times the consumption of all other units put together. The water consumption in the bleaching section is highest. For example, bleaching and finishing takes 38%, dyeing 16% of total water consumption in textile mills. Printing 8, boiler house 14, humidification in spinning process 6%, humidification in weaving 9%, sanitary, domestic, etc. takes 9%. The conventional preparatory process of textiles, namely desizing, scouring, bleaching, and washing, are highly water consuming operations and consequently energy intensive. Consumption of water and energy in Keys and J-box process is shows like this. In J-box desizing, the water consumption is 3 for 3 for water 1 kg, washing 20, scouring to washing to 20%, bleaching to washing 40. So going to another one in water. So water is contained two types. One is hard water and soft water. So what is hard water and soft water? Water is a universal solvent. It is a chemical substance which is transparent, colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Water is categorized in two types. They are hard water and soft water. These two types are not differentiated based on their touch and feel or appearance. This difference is based on the mineral content of each. Okay, what is hard water? Hard water means the water with naturally present minerals like magnesium and calcium with detectable amount is called hard water. These minerals are beneficial for health. You take in soft water, it is treated water, it is left with only cations and that is sodium. It has a salty taste. To make you understand how hard water and soft water are different from each other, here are the sum of the major differences between hard water and soft water. The hardness of water is determined primarily by the amount of calcium and magnesium it contains. Higher levels of these and other minerals make water hard. Water softening systems work by reducing the concentrations of minerals from the water instead of having higher levels of calcium and magnesium. Soft water tends to have higher concentration of sodium or salt. So hard water science like this. Number one, feeling a film on your hands after washing them. This is caused by the soap reacting with calcium to form soap scum. You may need to rinse your hands longer if the water is hard. Spots. These can appear on glasses and silverware coming out of dishwasher. These are usually deposits of calcium carbonate. Mineral stains. These show up on cloths when they come out of the washing machine. Cloths can wear out faster because of the harshness of hard water. Less water pressure in your home, mineral deposits can form in the pipes, essentially shrinking the interior diameter of the pipes and reducing water flow. Like this, signs of soft water includes a healthy lather when washing clothes, dishes, and even your hands and body. Clothes that are cleaner with no mineral stains and less wear and tear damage. Next one, healthy water pressure in your home. A slight sodium taste in drinking water, though in many cases a so types of hardness. There are two difference between hardness, temporary hardness, and permanent hardness in water. The temporary hardness of water is the presence of magnesium and calcium carbonates in water makes it temporarily hard. In this case, the hardness in water can be removed by boiling the water. When we boil water, the soluble salts of magnesium hypocarbonate is converted to MgOH2, which is insoluble and hence gets precipitated and is removed. After filtration, the water we get is soft water. Permanent hardness of water. When the soluble salts of magnesium and calcium are present in the form of chlorides and sulfides in water, We call it permanent hardness because this hardness cannot be removed by boiling. We can remove this we can remove this hardness by treating the water with washing soda. Insoluble carbonates are formed when washing soda reacts with the sulfide and chloride salts of magnesium and calcium, and thus hard water is converted to soft water. So, removing of hardness of water is prepared by zeolite process. For softening of water by zeolite process, hard water is percolated at a specified rate through a bed of zeolite. Zeolite holds sodium ions loosely and can be represented as N2Z, where Z, where Z represents insoluble radical framework. When the water passes through the zeolite, the hardness causing ions, calcium, magnesium, etc., are retained by the zeolite as calcium zeolite and magnesium zeolite, respectively. While the outgoing water contains equivalent amount of sodium salts. So the equations are showing how it is removing the hardness of water, showing the slide. Calcium hydrochloride plus sodium. Zeolite that gives calcium zeolite plus sodium hypocarbonate. Like this, magnesium hypocarbonate plus sodium zeolite gives magnesium zeolite and sodium hypocarbonate. So like this, calcium sulfate, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride can be processed. The removal of the hardness of water. After some time, when the zeolite is completely changed into calcium and magnesium zeolites, then it gets exhausted, saturated with calcium and magnesium, and it ceases to soften water. It can be regenerated and reused by treating it with a 10% of sodium chloride solution. So today what we discussed in the chapter, the necessity of water in chemical processing, what is the nature of water. There is two types of water, hard water and soft water. And soft water contains amount of calcium and magnesium, and the water softness system by reducing the concentrations of minerals from the water. Same like that, hard water, sorry, temporary hardness in water because of the presence of magnesium and calcium carbonates in water. So, and in this regard, we have discussed removing of hardness of water by the method of GLA process. Thank you. I'm closing this session.